The recording.
Good morning. Good morning, construction employers of the Commonwealth. Let me introduce myself. My name is Michelle DeJohn, and I'm the Deputy Commissioner of the Kentucky Education and Labor Cabinet's Department of Workforce Development. And we are the office behind your Kentucky Career Center system. I am really excited that we have a very small, intimate group of employers. So I'm excited that you're here. We're going to talk about your industry, the Kentucky industry, and I just want to personally welcome you. It's a pleasure to be here with you today, and I want to recognize the incredible work you all do in Kentucky's construction industry. I looked at some labor market information this morning because I wanted to be prepared and talk to you. We know that it's hard in your industry right now. As a state, we've had over 100,000 and one construction job openings over the last year as of May. And then we've seen a 7% increase over the previous year in your industry and your workforce needs. As builders of our community's infrastructure and future, in our future, your craftsmanship and resilience are just the foundation of our state's progress, but are always driving force behind it. Your dedication to safety, innovation, and quality is essential to Kentucky's growth. We understand your challenges and you're facing, such as labor shortages, material costs, and the need to adopt to new technology and in sustainability standards. And we're here today to tell you about Kentucky's Ready for Industry program. We applied for a grant. We were awarded the grant, and we're partnering with Dr. Alvarado and Ready for Industry to provide you as construction employers of the Commonwealth this resource to help you with your workforce pain points. We're going to talk about this morning Ready for Industry, and it's more than just a training program. It's a collaborative effort to give Kentuckians practical practice, certification, and training for the modern construction industry. Think of it as a bridge that connects motivated individuals to exciting opportunities within your company. And the Department of Workforce Development is providing this to employers at no cost. So we will receive the grant, and we want to connect you to this resource to help you with your goals. What Ready for Industry can do for you as an employer is targeted skill development. The Dr. Alvarado is going to talk about this training. It focuses on high demand areas like carpentry, welding, heavy equipment operation, OSHA safety standards, LEED certification, blueprint reading, green building practices. It is a chance to give some customizable training. They collaborated with industry leaders to tailor this Ready for Industry for your industry. Ready for Industry can be provided to you as a pipeline to talented individuals. It can be used as a screening tool. It can be part of a registered apprenticeship. It can be part of a work experience. It can help with improved retention by providing foundational skills. You can use this tool to screen and make sure that you're only hiring someone who wants to stay with you and is really interested in your industry. Ready for Industry, with over 100,000 Kentuckians employed in construction as in May. This initiative is here to boost our economy and empower individuals. And so I just thank you again for being here. Hopefully you will find this resource and an invaluable tool and resource, and we can get connected with you to provide it to you at no cost. So thank you again, Dr. Alvarado. I'll turn the slideshow over to you.
All right. Thank you all again for being here. And thank you, Deputy Commissioner, for she giving you so much insight into what's going on in Kentucky. What I'm going to do right now is share my screen. That way everyone.
And then we have a small intimate group. So if anybody has a question, just raise our hand, get me and Dr. and Casey's attention. We really want to make this informal. We want to answer your questions to show you the value of this tool.
Yeah. All right, to make sure everyone can see that. And give everyone a chance. I think I can actually open it up too, to allow everyone to speak if that's okay.
Sure.
What I definitely want you all to see first and foremost on here is the QR code. This allows you to get your own Ready for Industry account so that you can peruse through there, learn about the platform more, and delve into it more so that you can see the content. We're going to get into it at a high level today, but definitely want you all to be able to have that and be able to use it as a pilot program for you, for your organization. Thank you again to Deputy Commissioner Michelle and Team Kentucky for partnering with RFI to provide not only this resource, but also this webinar so that information gets out to you as employers and workforce development professionals in your organizations. We know that you're working hard to be able to retain workers and good workers who want to stay with you. And so we want to give you all the resources that are necessary for this. And like a Deputy Commissioner said, this is fully funded through the Quest grant that is focused on quality jobs, equity, strategy, and training in Kentucky. And so it is at no cost to you all. And Deputy Commissioner dived into the data, but I just wanted to give you a visual. And I don't know if Deputy Commissioner, if you want to go into this more.
Sure. Thanks, Casey. And it's Michelle. So we're informal, just Michelle. So as the data says here, Kentucky's construction workforce, 85% employers report difficulty in filling their roles. A couple of things I just want to comment on. We feel your pain. I feel your pain. I have 2 vacancies in my particular section of my Department of Workforce Development. So it's across industries. So as a state, we were looking to bring Ready for Industry. The data I saw this morning showed, but our Kentucky Center for Statistics has seen since 2010 a 28.9% increase, 4.5% growth here in state versus national. And you also have 21.5% of your workforce is over 55. So we have invested in Ready for Industry to help us be proactive versus reactive in addressing your workforce pain points. So any questions or comments about the labor market information for industry? Just take a second. Awesome. All right, Dr. Casey, I'll hand it back to you.
Yes, thank you all. And again, like I said, if you have questions, this is discussion model, jump in. This is a coffee chat.
There we go. Oh, we should call that coffee chat next time.
Like, I got my coffee. Get yours up. So, RFI prepares job seekers from late teens. So think about your as early as 9th grade to adulthood. So no matter the age in adulthood, with career awareness and preparedness. So think about your career knowledge that they need. It's bridging 2 gaps to help them understand what industry pathway do I want to pursue? And then once I know what that is, what is the basic information employers want me to know once I have boots on the ground? And so as we're looking at construction, we're talking about maybe I want to be a site manager. What does a day-to-day look like as a site manager? And then once I receive that job, what is my employer going to have expectations of me so I can retain that job? RFI provides courses of 15 to 20 hours. So small, self-paced, and focused on each of the key industries that are actually in Kentucky: healthcare, manufacturing, information technology, construction, and logistics. What RFA is not is a hands-on technical training, but it is a really good partner to a hands-on technical training for students and learners to enter into that. So how it works is basically it is a turnkey curriculum that connects well with your training programs, your onboarding, your apprenticeships. It gives you real-time dashboards to be able to track progress at work and see skills gap and see their industry credentials that they can receive in this platform. It's scalable. So it's remote friendly. It is web-based, so it can be accessed by phone, by tablet, by computer. So it really helps if you have people that are in rural areas or hard to reach populations, to get them prepared before they're able to reach your area, or if you just need to get them trained off site before they begin. This helps you to be able to do that. Again, introducing into the 5 industries, and then helping the job seeker to understand what their day-to-day is going to look like, obtaining that knowledge, and then it deepens, and so it builds upon it, and we'll get into those sections as we delve further. The creators of work keys, so ACT work keys, if you're familiar with that program, which is an identifier about career competencies, are the same creators of Ready for Industry, and realizing that there was a skills gap that's needed that was knowledge based, based on workplace competencies and industry-wide technical competencies that were needed to be able to have a solid employee. And so this curriculum creates a bridge between that cognitive skill and that hands-on skill, covering gaps in that common technical training. I often say, the quote is like, knowing that I have the knowledge to know that the tomato is a fruit. And now I know the skill to not put that tomato in a fruit salad. And so knowing how to have that knowledge and then knowing how to apply that knowledge. Would you say the same thing, Michelle?
Great. That's a great analogy. So, super. Thanks for sharing that.
So, what I want to be able to do is, I know today we will not be able to definitely sign on, but I want to be able to show you this. Here is an overview of our platform in video format.
We can't hear it, Casey.
Industry. The opportunities in this
There we
industry
go.
are so diverse. There are positions that could suit just about anyone. This Ready for Industry course will look at some of the careers in the construction industry. As you learn more about the construction industry, consider which options are available and what roles might fit you. After taking this course, you should be prepared to move forward into one of these high-demand job opportunities towards a rewarding career. In this course, you'll become familiar with the wide variety of construction job opportunities, the impact of construction on society, the relationship between construction and architecture, and the most recognized architectural styles, safety concerns and common construction practices, the future of the construction industry, construction's impact on the environment. Some of the jobs that this course will examine include construction manager. Construction managers oversee the activities of a construction site and coordinate the overall project and the labor needed. Commercial carpenter. A commercial carpenter creates building components from wood and composite materials as specified in blueprints or designs. Electrician. In the construction industry, electricians install cables and wiring to power a building project. Just like with other trades, an electrician completes a paid apprenticeship program to earn the title of journeyman or journey worker. HVAC technician. HVAC technicians work with any unit that uses refrigerant. This is typically for heating and cooling of a building, but can often include industrial refrigeration units as well. Plumber. A commercial or industrial plumber connects water utilities with.
So I'm going to stop the video right there. And if you would like to see more of that, please, please, please let me know. And I can actually send you the full video. It's about 10 minutes. But what I wanted you definitely to see not only is the videos and the content, but also how the platform works. So you saw that it is voice to text. So they're able to click on it and hear and it be read to them, but they're also doing a lot of reading. We want that literacy to be able to be strengthened because, reading comprehension and instructions are very important in any industry. But definitely when we look at the construction industry of learning, reading those blueprints, instructions, material lists, all those things, checklists, punch lists, all those things are very important, and we want to be able to strengthen those. And so it's very much a reading based content. There's also videos on there. There's also changes in voice from male voice to female voice throughout it. We have guided notes that are available too if someone has reading comprehension issues or English as a second language to go along with that. But it's definitely a platform that is, again, easy to use. So right now I'm just going to just check in with you guys. Alicia, Kyle, Laura, Ronnie, Terry, any questions, thoughts as you're viewing the platform? Open it up a little bit to you all so you guys can talk too.
I can chime in. I'm Alicia Tidrick with Goodwill. I guess I sort of cheated because I already have some familiarity with the platform. We have a couple of our programs that are integrating this, and we're looking, kind of brainstorming and thinking about ways we might be able to expand its use. But we've seen a lot of value in it. We've gotten some positive feedback from some of our industry partners when we've shared information about the platform and the content with them. So thank you all for making this available. I don't have any questions, but just a thank you.
Well, that's good to hear. So yes, definitely. I have some additional Goodwill trainings coming up at the end of the week. I think we're training 30 Goodwill coaches with Erica Sluter in Lexington. And Alicia, if you have more people that you want to get us connected to across and within that, we can do that. We can do that in person as well. Yeah, just let us know. Any other thoughts as you guys view this? Okay. All right. Well, I've opened your mic. So again, it's coffee chat. So if you want to chime in, you can, but I'm going to go ahead and go forward. So let's get into the actual content. So it's broken into 6 sections that build on each other, from overall topical knowledge to defined knowledge based on roles. They're aligned with industry standards and employer competencies. And so you're looking at introduction to construction. We're looking at terminology. We're looking at architecture styles. Then working in construction. Okay, what are the jobs that I will see? You saw on the platform, they're looking at HVAC, they're looking at plumber, they're looking at electrician, but also what is my day-to-day? What are some of the pre-validated safety and equipment operations that are needed? It gets into OSHA, and not just like the OSHA and the codes, but also the OSHA and the why. Why do we put these safety procedures in? Why do I ask you to wear this PPE gear? What does your PPE gear look like as an electrician that the same PPE gear looks like as in a plumber? Because it's going to be very different because you're working with different materials. Then we get into blueprint reading, job site math, layout simulations. Section 3, we get into the soft skills that are needed specifically for construction. The soft skills that are there for healthcare are not the same soft skills that are needed for a construction site. And what does professional look like? Professional looks like. What does it look like as communication? Then section 4 gets into what is happening in the construction industry. What are current trends that are going on, so that when that person gets on the job site, they have some self-efficacy because they have some wherewithal. They can have conversations with their coworkers, maybe also their boss, and not feel so much as a novice about current trends that are happening. So they're talking about energy conservation, and they're talking about some new trends in materials and new trends in construction styles. My husband has a construction and a welding business, and right now shakers are the trending thing. And so learning what shakers are, it's outside design that's there. You guys are probably familiar with it, and knowing what's trending and how to place those and create into the house is important. And so knowing those trends so that, again, that house can sell once he finishes with that. And knowing what's a custom build versus what's a prefab build, what's a standard build or a spec home. Then we get into section 5 is I've decided that I'm going to be this construction site manager. I'm going to be this residential electrical. What does it look like for my pathway? What are my certifications that are needed? Maybe I need an apprenticeship. Definitely in that electrical piece, you need to have an apprenticeship. And who do I need to get to that? Then also, what does my interview look like? And what does my resume prep and application prep look like to get into those programs? And then section 6 is definitely, I feel like, a solidifier because we're getting into the deep parts of section 6. It's what does my employer expect of me? What is it for me to be able to manage my own time as myself, as well as with a team? Because sometimes we know we're on in each of our works, but we're doing things in silos. So maybe I'm cutting the wood, or maybe I'm doing the brick mason and not realizing that I need to speed up my time, or I need to be efficient in this because there's someone else who's waiting in it, especially when it comes to construction, when there's 13 steps in the construction process. You know, the excavation has to happen before the bricklayer can get in there. So the excavator has to be on a timely manner, and knowing that looks like. And then also a big one, which is conflict resolution. We're not all going to agree, but we can be unified. And we can, you know, be very professional and be able to say our opinions, but also go forward and work with each other when we don't agree, and what that looks like. And so going through each section, as the learner is completing it, they have an assessment. They need to get 80% or higher on that assessment. But once they complete, they receive the RFI completion certificate, which is a micro credential, and it can be downloaded immediately inside by the Commissioner of Labor of Kentucky. We also have an outside credential if people would like to obtain that through NOCTI. That is an industry recognized micro credential, a really good identifier if they're ready for the job. And we'll get further into that and how to obtain that certification. But overall, you see topical knowledge going down to deep-setted, solid knowledge for that future employee. So breaking
Real quick
down.
question, if you can,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is there a way for would there be a way for me to go through and just take like individual sections? Because I would be really curious just to see like what you all have in the soft skills section, for example.
yeah.
So is there a way for like me to just go in and like take one section of it?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
you can go in and take sections. I can also, I will set up, and we can set up some time, and I can actually take you through the resource guide too. That will give you, it's about 47 pages, but it goes over every single section and has every single answer.
I would love that. We're
Yeah.
actually rolling out a new worker / pre-apprenticeship program on the 25th and 26th. I've got about 7 or 8 guys signed up for it that are just straight out of high school. That's going to be a very hands-on program that our national organization has put out. And I'm seeing a couple things where maybe I could just roll a couple things of this into it just to help supplement it a little. But it seems like something that we could definitely integrate with this.
Yes. Yeah. It puts me in mind, Ronnie. Thank you for that. Now, actually, as soon as we get done, I'll send you that outline and my Calendly, and that way we can get connected. But it reminds me a lot of the Association of General Contractors in the state of Tennessee is actually using Section 5 and Section 6 for their apprenticeship program.
Awesome.
To create. And so the students are actually going through some hands-on stuff, but also they're coming back and they're re-prepping before
Great.
they actually step onto the job site for that apprenticeship. And so that's a really good one. So thank you for that. And yes, I would definitely want to.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So looking at section 1, again, I'm telling you that the first part of it is overall topical general knowledge, building styles, commercial, residential. It's definitely an exploratory one. But then we get into section 2, working in construction. We're getting into more of like career immersion, major steps in constructing a house, fundamentals of building construction, the 13 steps of construction, the benefits, SOP, OSHA, safety, but also the why. I think, you know, with this, especially this upcoming generation, as I'm raising my own 15-year-old, they want to know the why. They're okay with doing it, but they still want to know what's the reasoning. So this is a really good prep for when they also have to take those additional certifications. So when they need to sit for that OSHA 10 or they need to sit for those other their SOPs, they can take this first and then work on that curriculum to get ready and have that connection for them. And then after each section, you also have, in addition to your assessments, but you have some knowledge checks. And so these are what the knowledge checks look like. So looking over some of these questions, I'm going to read them, but I'd love to hear if you guys have the answers to them. Which of these types of projects would an architect not be involved in? High-rise buildings, irrigation systems, single-family homes, office buildings? Anyone?
Irrigation systems.
Ooh, look at you. Section 2, which below is not a governing body that can enforce regulations in construction, federal, state, local, or suppliers. Laura, Leisha, Kyle?
See, I can answer these, but I cheat. It's cheat because I used to do construction for UK.
Oh, Ronnie, you no longer can answer. So suppliers can't enforce those regulations in construction. Section 3, an electrician who has completed an apprenticeship under an experienced professional and passed the licensing exam is known as which of the following, which we saw in the video is a journeyman. And so you see that there's actually knowledge checks happening to make sure that they're not only getting the information, but they're retaining it. Okay. The next piece of it is section 3 is exploring a career in construction. So now we're getting down to the defined, the day-to-day of actual pathways there, structural, civil engineering, construction site, carpentry, electricians, HVAC, plumbers, and the list actually goes on. And this goes into, like you saw in the video, is okay, I want to be HVAC. What does my day-to-day look like? Okay, I'm putting in the air conditioning system, I'm putting in heating systems. What skill sets do I need? What does the prep of my day look like? What am I wearing? Who am I reporting to? All those things so that they again know the expectations of the job. Section 4 gets in the current issues. Again, getting, like we talked about, getting them that wherewithal so that they understand, we're talking about building materials, we're talking about customer demand, we're talking about construction issues, we're talking about energy conservation, we're talking about prefabricated homes. They can have some context to be able to have those conversations with their colleagues. Okay. And then section 5 and 6, deepening that knowledge. Now that I know that I want to be the HVAC person, how do I prepare for that? What do I need to do as far as pathways, apprenticeships, internships? What does those look like? How do I prepare for my resume? What does my interview look like? Again, going back to my husband's work before he actually owned a company, he was working for various employers at the time, an iron worker. And I remember for his interviews, he had to have on his welding jeans. He'd take on his welding jacket. He'd take his welding helmet. He'd take on his hard toe boots. Why? Because when he gets there, not only is he going to do an interview, but he's also going to do a welding exam. They can see that he has AWS certification, but they also want to see his skill set because there's different skill sets for different welders to be able to do different welding styles. And they want to see that he can be able to do that. And he needs to be ready. And so for him, wearing a suit wasn't what he needed to do, but he needed to be clean. He needed to be ready, and he needed to be prepared. And so getting into that. And then section 6 is, again, those conflict resolution, working as a team, time management, self-management. I know it's hard. Myself, I have, ADHD. And so I have to set alarms for myself to make sure that I have the time management. And so helping those people understand time management on the job is my job affects someone else's job. And especially in the 13 steps of construction, someone else is waiting on me to finish this electrical process or this plumbing process because they need to be able to do this next step in the construction because that person, the overall foreman or the overall construction owner is waiting for that to be completed so that home can be for someone. So, any questions or thoughts on these? Right, so then we get back into the sample questions that you'll see. Ronnie will let you back into the group on answering questions. What type of inflation is caused when demand for goods and services exceeds production? Built-in inflation, cost push effect, demand pull effect, or push-pull effect? Anyone? Okay. Okay, you're looking at demand pull effect. What should the length of your resume be, including your work history, experience, and everything else you want to share? 1 page, 2 to 3 pages, 3 to 4 pages, as long as you need it to be.
I've always heard 2 to 3 pages.
2 to 3 pages. Anyone have differently?
Well, as a workforce person, I would concur 2 to 3 pages, but more and more folks are the trend is going to 1 page. So, but I would say 2 to 3. What's the answer, Casey?
2 to 3.
2
You
to
got it
3.
correct. Yes.
All right.
And section 6, how can you become a valuable team member? Know your role and meet the expectations of the job. Be aware of what you are supposed to do. Don't offer your own opinions. Listen and respond to questions. Anyone thoughts? Michelle?
That's a good one. All of the above.
Sometimes it is all of the above. It's listen and respond to questions. Is that one? Because again, to be a valuable team member, you have to be okay with, not being okay and asking the questions and that are need to, so that you can know your role and meet the expectation of the job and be aware of what you're supposed to do. And so you see that it's asking the questions to help to retain the information, but also to help them with knowledge that maybe that is not something that they've been exposed to or aware, especially when you get into the soft skills. Not everybody's home life, not everybody's background has been the same, not everybody's experience has been the same to attain this information or have those experiences. And so we can't always assume or generalize. And so here is actually giving it to them and actually cultivating that into that learner.
And the questions are very applicable and thought-provoking. You can't just click through them. So
no, you could not. And once you get started on a section, Ronnie, once you get in there, Laura, Kyle, you have to stay in that section to complete it. And so you'll see through the dashboard that someone cannot just fly through it and answer the questions. They have to stay in it, answer it, and be able to go on to the next section. So you actually know that they're actually in it and retaining it. And you can pull reports and see them doing that. So again, you can use it as an entrance exam. You can use it as a training. You could also use it as a job description or an entry into a program. There's so many variations and flexibility of this platform. So we talked a little bit about the RFI certificate of completion. So that's the downloadable certificate that's signed by the Commissioner of Workforce Development. That is completed after every section is the quiz is 80% or higher. What happens if that person makes the 75? That person who is over the program, whether it be an instructor, HR manager, career coach, can go back and reset and allow them to take that exam again. What I will say is if you see that, definitely download the guided notes so that they could be filling that out, because obviously they're having issues retaining the information. And that is readily available to them. Once upon that, they have it completed, they can receive that. If you just want to use sections like Ronnie said that she wanted to use, we do also offer a micro badge for those sections that came out of our Team Kentucky meeting about a month and a half ago. That sometimes we just want to do section 1 or section 5 or section 6, but we need to have understanding that they've completed that. And so there are macro badges that you can download to see that they've completed that section. The next is the NOCTI certification. NOCTI is the National Occupational Competency Testing Institute. They're widely known. They're used a lot in manufacturing and construction with industry recognized certificates, not only for ours, but also when you look at OSHA certifications, tool certifications, and process certifications. And so they're third party. They reviewed our curriculum for over 2 years and found a micro credential that could come out of this. And created the exam and created the certification. And so they do that on the outside from us. And so how you would do that is we would connect you with our NOCTI team. They would get you set up as a NOCTI site, which takes literally 10 minutes, and you have a NOCTI proctor. The person would come in, take the exam. They can take it on paper or they can take it online. It is an hour of the exam with 56 questions. And it goes over everything that they've seen. So including situational scenarios, so that what they come away with is that we know that they're subject matter knowledgeable in the construction industry. They have a measured readiness for those construction positions. And they're aware of terminology, major steps, safety practices, trends, and workplace expectations. And so they could be ready to go. That exam is $30, but right now we want to partner with you and take care of the first couple of your exams for you and that cost. And so all you have to do is reach out to us to set up that NOCTI certification, as well as to help you with the cost of that.
And Casey, let me interrupt here, just let the employers on the line.
Mhm.
Please don't let the cost of NOCTI deter you, or there are other options. We partner with our local workforce development areas across the state. We could, if NOCTI certification is needed, we could look at what other resources and options are available to help participants in getting their NOCTI certification. So, if there's a will, there's a way. The Department of Workforce Development and the Kentucky Career Center would like to help employers that need any assistance in getting their workforce and getting their workforce skilled up to meet your workforce needs. So if there's like there is a possibility of a resource, well, please reach out to us, connect with us, and we'd like to help with that avenue as well.
Yes, thank you so much for that. Yeah, so we definitely want to. And so this is just an idea of the industries that we've connected with. RFI is adopted not only in Kentucky, but also in Alabama, in Tennessee, and Louisiana. But in Kentucky, you see the quote from Governor Beshears here is Team Kentucky is committed to ensuring the record job growth we're experiencing has a skilled and ready workforce prepared to take on these new opportunities. And you hear that from Michelle. The work that is available, the resources that are available, especially I'll let Michelle speak to all the resources that are available with Team Kentucky, from people being focused on apprenticeships and helping you with that, with on the job training. There's so many things that are readily available in addition to RFI to help you strengthen your workforce as well as be able to retain and recruit. And so, Michelle, I don't know if you wanted to add to some of the Team Kentucky.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me share some of the best practices of employers in other industries that are using, and it could possibly be done in the construction industry. Several employers are piloting or launching, asking applicants to take the course in Ready for Industry as part of their selection process to help employers ensure that they have someone who's interested in this industry and interested in this occupation. So you don't have to hire someone, go through the HR process, and they're like, oh, this isn't for me. So that's one option. We have several school districts who are implementing Ready for Industry for their 9th through 12th graders as summer programs, or their CTE, continuing education, or vocational trainings. We have employers in registered apprenticeship who are adding Ready for Industry as part of their related technical instruction for their particular skilled trades. So I just wanted to share with the employers who are with us today that it's very fluid, versatile, it's flexible to meet your workforce needs.
Thank you so much. And then to mention, I know that Ronnie mentioned with being with Goodwill. Like I said, we can do things virtually online training, but also be in person. I'll be the last week of this month, I'll be in Lexington for a couple of days. I'll be in Corbin for a couple of days. If you'd like me to come up and connect with you all, I'll be in August. I'll be at SOAR, Kentucky. I definitely want to be able to see you, meet you in person, connect with your colleagues. Offer other resources, but also let's connect online. I'm going to send you out my contact information. I'm going to send you a recording of this presentation, and we ask please share it with others that were maybe not able to attend today. We want you to be able to launch a pilot at your location, and so today we're going to get you set up with your own account, and you can actually add on more people if you'd like to be instructors, to review it, to use the platform. Again, you can use it in full RFI, or if you can just want to use it in sections to prepare for different things. Spread the word, tell others about it, because again, this is a fully funded resource by Team Kentucky and the Quest Grant that is available to you all to help you get those knowledgeable, skilled trainees that you need. And then share this information. Your local workforce board makes decisions about the usage of this in various areas when it comes to workforce development. And so if you don't mind to send an email or a phone call, if you'd like me to help you craft a letter so that you can reach out to them to let them know that you see RFI and the partnership with Team Kentucky is vital and you want it to continue on. And then here you can scan with your phone to create your account. But again, I can send you also the information for the account. There you have my contact information. So that is my email address. I'll also throw it here in the chat. But right now, what I want to do is open the floor to you all. And just tell me, what are you thinking right now?
I too, this is Michelle, Dr. Ivor. For the employers who are online, I'm going to put my email in the chat. And if any employer would like follow up or to connect about the resources of the Kentucky Career Center in the Department of Workforce Development, you're welcome to reach out to me as well. But today's focus is ready for industry. And I want to encourage you to take the next step and explore how ready for industry can improve your workforce and develop your efforts. Together, we can create a more skilled, innovative, resilient construction sector here in Kentucky. Team Kentucky is ready to answer your questions and provide resources that you need. So I highly encourage you to connect with us. And again, thank you for your steadfast dedication to shaping Kentucky's future. One beam, one brick, one blueprint at a time. I was getting creative in my remark writing. I just want to show the employers who are here. We're here for you. It's not a joke. We're the government. We are here to help. So please know that about the Kentucky Career Center system. It's all your mics are open. Did anybody have any questions or comments? Thoughts on this product?
Yeah. Laura, Alicia, Kyle, Terry, I'd love to hear your thoughts about usage or comments, or even feedback on things that you think that we could do to be able to connect, or how you plan to use this.
Or how you could use it. I'm just interested in getting employer input as resources as we write grants to help employers. I mean, your Kentucky Career Center is not just, it has it's not an unemployment office. It's a one-stop connection to help employers and career seekers.
I can chime in a little bit about some of the discussions we've had at Goodwill. So we're using it in part as an exploratory tool. So for some of our clients who express interest in a certain industry that's covered by RFI, we're encouraging them to complete the course, both to confirm that interest and make sure that it aligns with their goals and with the type of job that they want to pursue. And also to get that exposure to the foundational knowledge and skills required for that particular industry. And we're also looking at, we haven't quite done this yet, but it's what we're working towards, is using it in conjunction with some of our other programs and with some of our employer partnerships as a precursor. We have a vetting process that we do with our clients before we refer them or work to place them with our employer partners, but we're looking at adding RFI into some of those pathways for certain employer partners if it aligns with one of the RFI industry pathways. So we're seeing a lot of promise and a lot of potential, and we've gotten really good feedback from clients, employer partners, really just across the board with folks who have previewed the material that's available. So again, thank you guys.
Thank you, Alicia. The feedback is really important. We like to know at the department level that are we seeking the right tools and resources? So thank you. And for our employer folks, what a better tool to make sure you have a skilled worker when you get there, or you can use this to upskill your current workforce too. If you have levels of occupations, maintenance 1 or construction aid 1, 2, or 3. So that's the creative. This is why Ready for Industry, we went with Ready for Industry as for it could be customized to meet our employer and the workforce needs.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Alicia, learning what you all are doing there at Goodwill, and then also being able to take it to the next level is amazing. And Michelle, what you mentioned there made me think about, we were recently talking to a construction employer, and he was having an issue with a couple of people on time management. He had some conversations, but now he was going to use the Section 6 of time management for them to complete. And part of their process for understanding that. And so I think that was a great part, is discipline, or the changes of, or meaning to teach, so that someone can grow as an employer or grow as a worker. And sometimes, again, those are not some common things that they have in learning how to do the time management. And so you can use it for that upskilling piece to help somebody solidify themselves as a really good employee. Terry, I saw your thing was unmuted. Did you have a question or a comment?
I was actually just going to echo what the previous person had just stated, just in terms of it being exploratory. But I work with vocational rehabilitation, and so I work with people with both seen and unseen disabilities. So part of the reason why I actually just found out about this program yesterday from our local representative, so I'm really excited about it. But a lot of what I'm interested in is just trying to get more information into the hands of the people that we represent, because many of them may have developed their disabilities late in life. And so they may have a goal in one of these fields, but they're really uncertain whether or not their, accommodations can still be made for them to work in that field. So this would give us a more in-depth view of exactly what the expectations are. And help them to understand what they would actually have to walk through in order to do some of these positions. So both in it for that, and then of course we have populations, addiction and recovery, releases from prisons, so incarcerated persons who are walking out fresh into the world that are needing a new lease on life. And so this would be a great starter program for them as well. So I'm really excited about putting it in place and learning more about all of the different courses.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Terry. Yes, we are actually partnered with quite a few rehabilitation and correctional facilities that are using the program. In the correctional facilities, they're using it, they complete to 20 hours, they receive 20 good days, and also they transition into an employer upon reentry. And then also part of a rehabilitation programs in the state of Kentucky on using the program before they enter into the workplace and in conjunction with their journey in sobriety. And so, yes, thank you so much for the work that you do. Do you mind to mention who's the rep that gave it to you? Because I definitely want to tell them thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It was Bill Sandell in our KCC, our local KCC.
Bill's on it.
Uh-huh.
Bill's amazing. All right. He's actually at another workforce event, but he is usually here and he is readily available, as well as many people on Team Kentucky. They are just fantastic and a great group to work with. Thank you all so much. So I will let you all go. Thank you for this time and this coffee chat. It was a really good discussion. I've learned so much about you all, and I want to continue to partner with you all and to bring RFI to your industry and to your organization and work with you all. And again, in addition to me being here, Team Kentucky is here with you to be able to partner with you and provide additional supports and resources and connections. Michelle, I'll let you close this out.
Awesome. Again, thank you, Ready for Industry, Casey, and my workforce family partners and employers who joined us today. Please connect with us, and I hope you have a great day. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.